What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Viva Los Bills on a Wednesday. A little different, a little early at 7 o'clock, but it is what it is. I messed up on my schedule. I have to work tomorrow. Not going to be able to do the show, so we're going to do it today. Cousin Vinny, as always, joining us. Yo, man, your
What's
picture.
up? What's up? I see you got a little pep in your step today with all the news we got going on, man. And plus, hey, it ain't bad that we're doing it today because everything's coming right hot off the press. So, it's better earlier than tomorrow, in my opinion. What's going on, bro? Everything good on this end?
Not much, man. Everything good so far. I was actually working, got off a little earlier, so it helped because I was a little weary about if we were going to make it a show today or not. Like you said, today's free agency. A lot of moves going on around the league. A lot of moves in the AFC East. News going around. Some good, some not too good news. We're going to hit up on all this stuff. As always, I mean, it's not the regular season. We crack a little brew to all the Bills fans, the Bills Mafia, Bills Nation, whatever you call Viva Los Bills fans. Hey, I haven't gone back to the store, so I still have the Italian Peroni. I guess we'll keep
There
it
you
up
go.
with Matt Milano again.
Right.
Salute.
That's the salute, brother.
You got
Salute.
the can there.
Hey, yeah, man. It's worthy of celebrating. We got some good signings, good stuff, man. Good stuff. We're gonna fill you in on what's going on. Buffalo Bills and Brandon Bean and him working his magic. That's why he was general manager of the year. So we'll see. We'll get into it right now.
We're gonna get it. Listen, real quick, ready, Chino, my buddy. Say, hey, you guys drinking beer or tea tonight? It's usually beer, bud, unless we go something harder. Most of the time, it's beer. Marty Jones hit up. He's like, Chino Brennan, the moves the Bills made. I'm thinking cold beer. Marty's correct. We're having some cold brew.
Yes, sir.
So, let me see who else. Last week we didn't get to see it, but German, our buddy Susio German came on. He's like, hey, we should come down by his house. He's been brewing some beers, I guess. He said he has a batch on Saturday, and then he was making some IPAs.
That's what's up.
I always wanted to try to make my own beer. My girl got me a kit. It's just been sitting in there. I never made it. It's too, I don't know, maybe one day. It'll be
One
like
of these days.
a bucket list type deal I have, and I'll make some brew.
Yeah, man, I'm too lazy. I just go right down the street. There's an ABC liquor down the store, and I'll give me a 6-pack. I'm the lazy type.
Don't worry, me too. I'd rather do that. But it would be cool.
Hey, you know what's good?
Yeah.
You just got out of work. I just got out of work. And with all the news happening for the Bills, all positive news for the Bills, good signings and stuff, this beer tastes a little extra crispy, a little extra good. So I'm enjoying this one.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I agree with you. It's been good. Usually we talk about other stuff around the league and then we finish up with the Bills. We have a tight schedule today, so I guess we should get going. We'll do some of this. Oh, by the way, happy St. Patty's Day to everybody out there. Cheers, happy St. Patty's Day. It's an Italian beer. The bottle's green. Salute.
Oh, man. Man, you made me look bad. I ain't got no green out here. But happy St. Patty's Day to everybody.
I forgot all about it, too. All right, here we go. Let's start going. Finally, Drew Brees said, that's it. He's done. New Orleans Saints signed Jameis Winston to a 1-year deal. I think it's worth 5.5, but could go all the way up to 12.5, I believe, in incentives. You know what? Drew Brees, Hall of Famer, probably first ballot guy. Good. To me, like the last few games, he didn't look as sharp. So,
Well, he had half his body broke. I mean, we got to give him a break,
It's true, and he stuck it out, man. He was out there for a long time. He missed a few weeks, came back. But you know what? He's gone, and he already has a few gigs. He's going to be calling Notre Dame games, Bobby's team. And also he will be on Sunday Night America or something like that for the football games, NFL games anyway. So
man, in my opinion, that's the OG. He's definitely going to Hall of Fame. And all the stuff he's been through, especially last season. Kudos to you, Breeze, man. Thanks, even though I'm not a fan of the Saints, but I'm definitely a a fan of the game, and he's someone that I enjoyed actually watching. Whenever there was no Bills games and the Saints were on, I enjoyed watching him play. He's an OG in my book. He, he fought through adversity, man. He's a Hall of Famer in my eyes. So,
Yeah,
enjoy your retirement.
I've said it before. I was hoping when he left San Diego, the Bills would have signed him. I know Miami was in the hunt, and so was New Orleans, but New Orleans
Yep.
would not let him go anywhere. And I don't blame him. Look at everything he did over there. He got a Super Bowl, at least one.
Yes, sir.
So kudos for Mr. Breeze. Moving on. Uh real quick. All right. So this is not funny. It's pretty messed up. I don't know if you saw it. Deshaun Watson is in the news. Deshaun Watson. Do you hear about this?
No. Fill me in.
All right. A lawsuit was officially filed against Deshaun Watson. And I'm reading this off of Pro Football Talk right now. All right, where is it? Document can be viewed here if you go to Pro Football Talk and click on it. Anyway, the incident allegedly occurred on March 30th, 2020, during a massage provided at a plaintiff's at her home. The plaintiff, who's under the pseudonym Jane Doe, contends that during the massage, Watson assaulted the plaintiff by touching her with his penis. Anyway, I didn't read this part before. It goes on, the plaintiff alleged he wanted her to focus on his groin area and that she eventually concluded that Watson wanted a massage for only one reason, which was sex. What else? Now, the plaintiff also alleges that Watson later apologized via text message and that at least two other players were referred to her by Big D. So
I didn't mean to laugh, but that's
it goes on and on. He also tweeted before, or actually, this is the one I thought I had, him saying, listen, that the lawyers came to him and wanted a 6-figure deal, and he said no, because I'm going to prove my innocence and my name. Moving on to later on in the day, the lawyer is filing the second of 4 cases against Watson. So now this is starting to pile up, and it's all coming out. Hopefully it's not true, but if it is true, this is not good for Watson.
No, it's not.
And it is not good at all. The lawyer today, my associate Cornelia, and I filed the second, what is now of 4 cases on behalf of women against Deshaun Watson today. And she's already saying since filing the first case yesterday, she had several death threats. Multiple people harassed her children. The blame victim mentality is alive and well. I love football as much as the next person, although I've never been a Texas fan, but I do not love it that much. Makes me shake my head that people are so passionate about football to the point of irrationality, while at the same time they could care less who the mayor or president will be. Anyway, this is not good for Watson. This is not good for anybody looking at him.
Not at all. But I mean, people are innocent till proven guilty. I mean, he's willing not to. Oh man, it's a tough situation because all that whole mess he got going on over there in Houston, and for this, it's like layer upon layer upon layer of things. I mean, things are not good. He might even sit out for half of the season, whatever he said. That's like $20 million he's going to lose. I don't know. They just signed Tyrod Taylor over there too, so things ain't looking good for him over there, especially now with this hit.
Yeah. Somebody close to them were saying that they believe the Houston Texans will move on for him at some point.
Yeah.
Like you said, they signed Tyrod Taylor to 1-year deal. I believe how much is it?
$12 million.
Yep, up to $12 million in incentives. Listen, Deshaun should have called Robert Kraft.
I don't know that. I don't know. I don't think they have enough money with all the stuff they're doing over there in New England.
Well, not even that. I'm saying he should have called Robert Kraft for where he goes. Anyway.
Oh yeah. I just got that, man. You ain't even right.
Anyway, let's move on from that one. Listen, one thing before that, I was going to say, all right, we'll move on to this one. Listen, the Bears offered 3 first rounders, a third-round pick, and 2 starters to the Seattle Seahawks for Russell Wilson. Before all this mess came out, I mean, the Bears declined it. I mean, Seattle declined it. Don't know if
Declined it.
it was
Yeah.
because on Russell's behalf or the team, who knows, but they declined it. If I was Houston, I would have called up in the Bears and be like, hey, is
We
Khalil
got
Mack part
this.
of that?
That's
I'll
right.
take that deal. I'll take that deal. I'll take 3 first rounders, 2 starters. They were not named. But if Khalil Mack is part of it, dude, why not make that move? I don't want to
But
have a
look,
quarterback who's not happy with my team.
that's right. But who did they wind up with? Who did Chicago end up with?
Yeah, Andy Dalton. But you know what? Listen, I saw a stat. I was watching NFL Network, and they were saying the Bears fans are going crazy. Like, why Andy Dalton? So, in the time Andy Dalton as a starter, they put this stat up there, and I thought it was crazy. He's won, I think it was 74 games or 73 games. And in that same time period of him as a starter, Chicago won one less game than he has. So Andy, let's say, had 73 games. Chicago won 72. Or if it
So
was
what was
74.
Chicago? What did Chicago wind up this year? What was their record? Do you know offhand?
Nah, I think it
Let's say
was
I
8
think
and
they were
8.
like eight
But
and
they
eight.
made the
So okay,
playoffs.
so they'll be 9-7 next year. Hey, it's an upgrade, I guess, if you want to look at it that way.
Well, listen, Andy Dalton right now has more
I like
experience
Andy.
than Mitch. Yeah, no,
I like Andy Dalton. Man, he won the game against Baltimore to put us into the playoff that time. So hey, I got much love, much respect for him. I don't know why people are so up, so hard against him. He's a good player, and if you surround yourself, you have a good player, and you surround him with good receivers and good tight ends, he's gonna be good. But look what happened over there in Dallas. I mean, he's a mess over there too. So
yeah. Well, the
I
thing
wish him
too,
the best.
yeah, I mean, in Dallas, their whole offensive line was hurt, most of them. It was ridiculous. The poor guy got in there and got blown up.
Yep.
So it wasn't like his fault. He got that bad hit that gave him a concussion. And then
Yes,
he
sir.
eventually came in and started playing, like Andy
A little bit
Dalton
better.
could
Yeah.
play. So, I mean, don't hate on the guy. He has more wins than your team in that whole time period. Give him a
Yeah.
shot. And your team's really not that good. I just thought it was weird that, man, they offered him 3 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and 2 starters. I wish I knew who the starters were.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
Seattle to turn it down, and not even that. If you're Russell Wilson, you're telling me you're looking at Chicago and think that's a better team than Seattle? You don't have those receivers in Chicago.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
a lot of youth. I mean, I wouldn't mess with it, but if I'm Houston, I'm
But
calling
when you think
Chicago.
about it, like look at the balance.
Mhm.
All what is it? Two first rounders, I believe, right? Or 3 first rounders. It was two
Three,
first rounders. Was it three?
three.
2 starters and a third rounder. That's
Yeah,
a whole lot of good stuff for them to wind up with Andy Dalton. I mean, come on now. I mean,
yeah.
I know you still got a couple guys. I don't know what's going on with Alex Smith. I don't know. There's a couple guys out there that still could ball. Um,
Mhm.
so is this for him to be a backup or for a starter? What was the money that they gave him?
10 million. It was. I'll tell you right now. Right now, it's a 1-year deal worth $10 million. I don't know if there's
Well,
incentives to be higher, but that's what they have right now. I mean, it's a good deal. Look,
yeah,
listen. If I was Chicago, I would. I mean, Seattle, I would have taken that deal. First of all,
yeah,
you don't know. You still have. Well, I don't know about now with all this craziness. Carolina says that if Deshaun Watson is available, they're all in. So that means they're going to cut Teddy Bridgewater. So if I'm
mhm,
Seattle, I'm saying, hey, all right, I'll make this trade. I'll see who's out there. If Teddy Bridgewater falls, I mean, he's not going to be my starter forever, but he's good enough
yeah,
with the talent we have around here
yeah,
to get better. Use those three
absolutely.
first-round picks. You got 2 first rounds this year. Draft 2 offensive linemen if that was the big problem. Deshaun Watson was the most sacked quarterback. After him was Russell Wilson. So,
Right
and
behind
it's
him. Yep.
funny because Jeff Saturday was saying, listen, if Russell goes back into the locker room, he doesn't think there's going to be beef. And if he wants to call out the line like he did, the line could say, hey, throw the ball away. Don't hold it so long.
Yeah, yeah,
They showed multiple plays of him holding the ball, waiting, waiting, waiting. Get rid of it, man. Do something. Check
yeah.
down.
But hey, man,
Dang it.
free agency started today at 4 o'clock, so there's gonna be a lot of moves. There's gonna be a lot of things shaking up. With I'm excited because I know there's gonna be some major moves. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Already New England ain't playing. They're all in. I was actually surprised about the signing of Cam, which you could probably elaborate on. I
Yeah.
think it was another year with incentives.
Yeah. I don't
6 million.
remember how much. It wasn't
Yeah,
much, but it's laid out with incentive. So he could make a good penny.
yeah,
And
yeah,
like you said, man, I have the Pats were coming up next. Listen, these guys made moves. They signed
yeah, man.
probably the best two tight ends out there. Belichick loves tight
Both of
ends.
them. Both of
Yeah.
them.
They signed Hunter Henry
Henry
and
and
Juno
Smith.
Smith. Yeah, I would rather have, excuse me, Juno Smith. I think it was 4 years. Was it $44 million or some craziness like
I think it
that?
was 35. 35, I think it was.
I think it was more than that. It was crazy
Was
because
it?
I think it was a
Okay.
little bit over 10 million. And I was like, if the Bills could have gotten him, man, I would have went after him. That
Yeah.
guy's a big boy, and he's got really good hands. Not only that, they went out and got Kendrick Bourne, I believe from Seattle. I mean, San Fran. Nelson Aguilar, he's one of those receivers I kind of like. Either he's
Hot and
good,
off.
yeah, he's
And
either
or he's
good
bad.
or he's cold, you
Yep.
know. But that's two
He
big
had a
moves.
lot of drop passes last year.
Yeah, you
So,
got
it's a good sign. I think it's a good signing.
yeah,
They're giving Cam Newton some weapons, and it's all on the
mhm,
offensive side. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I guess they're banking on all the guys that opted out last year coming back because half of their defense was out.
No, but
Uh,
they signed
that
even
opted
more
out last year.
defensive guys.
I know
First,
they're gonna
they
be
got
they're gonna be good this year.
yeah, they got a center Ted Karras, which is not bad. They actually traded for a tackle, I believe. Was it from the Oakland Raiders? I believe. Uh, they got the DN Henry Anderson, outside linebacker, which is big. Matt Judon, that's a huge signing. So you're gonna pair him with Hightower if he comes back. It's gonna be nasty. Defensive tackle Carl Davis, defensive tackle David Gottricks, or however you said it. He was a beast for Miami.
Intro.
Yeah, he loves taking shots at Buffalo Bills for some. And they got Jordan Mills, the safety from Philly, and the right tackle they traded for was Marcus Cannon and Trent Brown. So they're making moves over there, and we knew it
Yeah.
was going to happen. And they still have a nice chunk of cash, if I believe. I mean, they're still up there.
Yeah.
So they,
Hey, real quick, we got Marty Jones chimed in, said what's up, and then Tom Casey talking about, hey, what's up with my Patriots, and then the last comment he said was, Bills are in trouble.
I
Hey,
didn't see this.
I,
Where is
I
this?
I don't know. I see it on my end, but hey, Tom, you might be right. You might be right. I think the AFC East is going to be a lot tighter this year. I
There he
think with
is.
all the moves that New England did, I mean, they're very aggressive. They've been very aggressive. They've given Cam Newton some weapons. You guys are going to be good. I ain't taking nothing away, but you got to see. We're going to talk about what the Bills are doing too. So we're pretty much going to be intact. But we'll get back to that later, Tom. Tom,
Uh,
don't go nowhere because we're going to talk about the Bills in a little while, what they're doing to
I knew
maintain
Tom.
their status.
I knew Tom was going to chime in today. It's been a while since Tom chimed in. And listen, they made all this moves, and they still have around $32 million to play with,
Yep.
and they're being smart about it. So I mean, good for them. It's nice to have money, and this is what I talked about. Is like, listen, you could take a team if you have a lot of money and you spend smart, you could flip your team and be right in the playoffs the next year. That's the
Yep.
way free agency is, and especially
Absolutely.
after this year when they cut everybody's salary. I mean, so with the moves they already made, it's going to be a nasty fight. It's going to be a nasty fight, I think, between the Bills, Pats, and possibly the Dolphins. But Dolphins haven't done all their mix. The
Hey,
Jets,
listen, the Jets got a whole bunch of money too.
yeah, I
Don't the
know
Jets got a whole bunch of money?
they
So
made a few moves. Well, we'll get to them real quick here. Let's move on to Miami. Sorry, Tom, even though he's over here saying Bills are in trouble. He said Mills was the guy, Judon, and then he's like, "Let's go." He's all pumped up over here. So yeah, all right. I don't know
hey,
why.
you got reason to be, man. They're actually doing
Yeah,
something over there that's worthy, for Bills fan to see. Hey, man, for Bills fan like you and me to say, hey, man, they're doing big things over there. That's something to be, I'm not hating, but I'm
yeah,
saying they're doing good things over there. They are. They're being aggressive. I mean, they're giving Cam some weapons. So There ain't no excuse for Cam after this season coming up.
Listen, I wanted to know what Tom thought when they re-signed Cam because Boston was going crazy on like NFL, the network and NFL radio. Like people were mad that they re-signed Cam. So I wonder what he thought about that. Hold on. Did he just answer? I gotta see. Anyway, moving on, like you said, the Miami Dolphins. Listen, I'm surprised they haven't done more so far, but you know what? Look it, they brought in Jacoby Brissett, which is one of the guys I thought some other team should have brought in as a starter. I guess if Tua starts slipping up, Fitzmagic's there not there anymore, so you got Jacoby Brissett. And
Wait. Did you say Magic? Fitz Magic? Oh,
yeah,
do you know where he's going, right?
Yep. I saw it. He's on the list on here to talk to.
All right. I'm trying to make sure we don't skip him.
Nah, how can we skip him? They brought in Jacoby Brissett, which to me is a good move. Listen, I believe Flores was there in New England when Brissett was there, so they have some familiarity with each other. They brought in Justin Coleman, cornerback from Philly, Malcolm Brown, which is a nice signing from the Rams. And before we got on, it was announced that they're signing former Bills wide receiver Robert Foster, who averaged actually 20 yards a reception when he got to play. So it wasn't much, but listen, they're moving to. Let's see how much money they have. I mean, they rank 7th. They have $28 million to play with too. So, they're a very young team like us.
Yeah.
They kept their core. They actually traded Shaq Lawson.
Yep.
They traded him to Houston, I believe. So he only got to play a year over there in Miami, and now he's gone. It's possibly because he was still showing love to the Bills, and they're like, "You got to
go." Especially being in the AFC East, for sure.
Yeah. That's right. Oh man, Todd Casey still wrote more. Holy cow, what is this? I guess I didn't see these before. They're coming in hot. Tom wrote, I think Cam is an insurance policy. You will see more moves. That's if they get Garoppolo, because there's still a thought process that they might trade for Garoppolo and bring him back. Sanders is a great move if healthy. Bills need defensive pickups. Bills are in trouble. I don't agree with all that, Tom, because if you watched the shows we talked last week, was that, hey, the Bills, they subbed so much, so our defensive stats look worse than what they probably would have been. They subbed so much. Our guys weren't playing. Our main guys were not playing, I don't know, the 75% of the game. It was almost like a 60-40 split.
Absolutely. And so plus the addition back to Star Lutulele's coming back that he had opted out last season. So that's our run stuffer. We got the only thing I'm concerned about is the tendering of Levi Wallace. We need a good edge rusher, and the defense is pretty much the same. So we went last year. We were struggled a little bit on defense, but the year before with the same people on defense, we still were in the top 4. So we start coming back. I think that's a big help with the cornerback. The only thing that worries about me is that number 2 corner spot, which I believe is going to be taken care of. So I'm not worried too much about the defense.
No, I think the second corner spot will be fine. Even if they go with the second year man Jackson, because Jackson looked good.
Dane Jackson, yeah.
Yep, Dane Jackson. Hopefully he steps up. You still have Tyron Johnson's there.
Tyron Johnson,
Cam Lewis. There's going to be a competition there. You still have Terran Neal. So we have some guys, and we still could go on. Let's talk about another AFC scrub team, the Jets. Let's talk about them real quick. Listen, they went out and signed Justin Hardy. He was a starting corner for the Saints. Not a bad thing for them. Jared Davis from the Lions. I really don't know much about Jared Davis because I really wasn't watching the Lions, but I think he has some good stats. They signed DN Carl Lawson, which is pretty good from Cincinnati. I guess we'll have to have Jordan on or maybe have German on. German said, yo, over here.
Said that the IPA is fermenting, so.
Wow, did they see? You're getting these. Oh, there it is. Now fermenting. See, I'm going to have to try this beer. Maybe I'll bring it on and put it on the show.
Yes, sir.
They signed Corey Davis from Tennessee. He's not a bad wide receiver for them. No. Vincent Smith from Houston. think that's more of a let's see what happens. That's all I have from them right now. I'm surprised they haven't, done more moves. They tagged um, their safety main, whatever his name is, whatever main. I'm surprised they didn't give him a contract. Why not? You have all this money, pay the freaking guy so he doesn't
Yeah.
go anywhere. If I'm him, next year I'm like, you know what? Peace out. I'm out. We talked about Fitz Magic signing the 1 year deal contract. That could end up being up to $12 million. I hope he goes in Washington and tears it up. I'm
Me
rooting for
too.
the
Me too.
guy.
Me too. For
Uh,
sure. For sure. I was actually surprised because there was talks that he was going to retire. So I guess they gave him a good pay. What was his $10 million or something they gave him for the year?
10 million
Uh,
could
yeah,
go up to 12.
yeah. With the incentives, I mean, hey, he'd be a fool not to take it because he still got gas in his tank. He's still balls, man. That dude still
Yeah,
could play.
and he still has hunger. You see it. The
Yeah,
guy loves
man.
playing the game.
They did
Uh,
him dirty over there in Miami, bro. But let's be honest, they did him kind of dirty in Miami. So I'm kind of happy for him. I'm not a big fan of Tua over there, especially with the crap he talked, mid-season last season when they asked him how it felt to be in the NFL in terms of speed. He said it didn't, he didn't think it'd be this easy. Then after that, it was downhill from there because that puts a target on your back when you start talking crap like that. So I'm
yeah,
not impressed with him so far. You know what I mean? I mean, he did a lot of. I never seen some really good deep passes from him. I saw a lot of short stuff from him. I'm not too impressed. Maybe this year he has his
yeah.
second year under his belt. He'll do a little bit better. But that's what happens when you talk crap. So hey, more. I got much love for Fitz, man. Hopefully, I wish him nothing but the best over there in Washington.
Me too. I've always liked Fitz. I liked when we gave him that big contract. People went crazy. I think the Bills kind of screwed him when they signed the contract. They ended up
Yep.
trading Lee Evans away when you
Yep.
finally had a 1-2 punch with him and Johnson. And then you had
Yep.
Roscoe Parrish in the middle and Chandler as tight end. And then you
Yep.
screwed it all up. But he's been getting screwed over pretty much. But he's getting paid. You can't
He's
hate
like
him.
used to it.
The guy, yeah, he's going from place to place, making a lot of money, but it kind of stinks because look at Miami, he was winning, and then they still sit him to start Tua, and then when Tua's
I know.
struggling, they bring him back. I mean, it is disrespectful. But I see
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
going to Washington, and he'll probably have to compete with the kid there. I forgot his name. Uh,
So what
but
happened with Alex Smith? Did he got released?
he got released. They ended up
He got
cutting him.
released.
So he's
Hmm.
available out there. That's another guy. If you need to plug in your quarterback spot for a year and try to teach a rookie or whatever, it's not a bad option. German said real quick, Jets need another edge rusher, maybe the free agent from San Fran. Trying to think of the free agent from San Fran. He also said Fitz Magic is good, but folds under pressure. He did with the Jets. Yeah, but I
I
don't
think
think the
he's talking
Jets
about. Is he talking about Williams that just signed a big contract?
did
No,
he?
no, that's all.
No,
No,
that's
no,
a
no.
that's a tackle.
Okay, that's a tackle. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fitz. Fitz. He also put is good, but folds under pressure. I don't know. I don't know about all that. I mean, he did with the Jets. Well, Miami, he bought him a couple games, from behind. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, especially in Buffalo, what he did, Fitzmagic was the game he beat when he beat New England Patriots. So, I mean, I think I like the guy, and I still think he got another year, maybe 2 seasons left.
Yeah, I mean, unless he wants to take that permanent backup role, he could still do that and hang
Yeah,
with the best of them. The thing with
for
him,
t- for
I don't know if
for
he
10 million
folds.
bucks, I'll be taking out. I'll bring out the Gatorade for 10 million bucks.
Me too. I don't think he folds. I think the problem he's like what they would call it like the gunslinger, and he'll try some stuff that he shouldn't try, or he'll try to force it, especially towards the end of the game coming back. He'll try some dumb stuff that ends up going south sometimes. Let's move on real quick. Arizona, they ended up signing AJ Green today to their wide receivers squad. Listen, it's worth about $8 million. I think with incentives, I think it's six something going to eight. I guess they're trying to go for the geriatric wide receiver crew over there. Let me see. With
Hey,
him,
I like AJ
Fields,
Green. He went to what did he go to the Tennessee for just 1 season? That was it. I mean, I know the Bills were looking to get him,
yeah,
and he wound up going to Tennessee. What he did not produce that much that they cut him that quick.
he
I thought he
didn't.
was a great receiver.
I thought he was still at Cincinnati. I'm not sure. He
No,
didn't do much. He did go to Tennessee. He didn't do
yeah.
much last year. So let's see if he could pick it up over there again. I mean, with him and Fitzgerald, you have two guys with great hands. You know, they're both long toothed right now, and hopefully he can stay healthy. JJ
Mm,
Watt was pumped that they signed him, but I would have minded him for the right price. But he's not making anything where he wanted to make. Now, Trent Williams, that's the guy you were talking to, offensive tackle, becomes the highest paid O lineman in the NFL by signing a 6-year deal worth $138 million. 6 years, and he's 32 years old. Let's see if he plays 3 years of this contract. But I think 55 million was guaranteed. So I guess after being cut, maybe in 3 years from now, I will be surprised if this guy still he
mm.
plays out this whole 6-year contract. But good for him for making that big bucks. San Fran traded for him last year. I think it was a third and a fifth round pick from Washington for him. And he's making buku bucks. Now, let's start getting into some ex Buffalo Bills like I always like. Ty Nisk. He's agreed to a 1-year deal with the Cowboys. I'm not sure how much it was worth, but at least he's going over there to help out that offensive line, either as depth or whatever. Another guy
Hey,
signed.
by the way, real quick, AJ Green was with Cincinnati. He
He
didn't go
was.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
So
what the hell I was thinking, but yeah, he
step
he was
medallion.
with it. He was Cincy. Yeah, nah, my dad, this is the light, so I'm good. I'm good. It was just me messing up, but he was with Cincy last year.
So Ty Nisk is gone, but he
Hmm.
goes back to the NFC East because he used to
Hmm.
be with the Washington Redskins. Now he's on with the Cowboys. He grew up playing football over there in Houston or in Texas, wherever the hell he was over there. Now, Tyrod Taylor, which we talked about, signed a 1-year deal that can be worth up to 12.5 million. Now, is this because they're going to trade Deshaun, or is this just a security blanket as a good backup? I like Tyrod. I just didn't think he was that great of a quarterback. That's my opinion. He did enough to win games, but he was scared to throw that ball down the field to me. Used to drive
Yep.
me crazy, and he didn't really check down as well as he should have.
He was
But
like Trent Dilfer with a running game. He
yeah,
just, you know what I mean? He kind of Trent Dilfer
I
didn't lose the game. He made, kind of, held, ran the game without. He wouldn't lose the game for you. He wouldn't take shots. You know what I mean? I liked him, but I didn't like him that much. To be honest with you, I was kind of happy he went. To be honest, if you want to be totally honest,
nah, me
I was
too.
kind of happy. Yeah. So I know I'm
Listen,
probably going to get a lot of flack from some of the Bills players, fans, because a lot of fans loved him. He took us to the playoffs, whatnot. But
listen, you could ask Kyle. Kyle knows. I said I never really liked Tyrod. I did like him, but I knew he wasn't our quarterback. It used
yeah,
to drive me crazy watching the games. You would have Sammy Watkins open running down the
way down the
field,
field. Yep,
and Tyrod either
wouldn't
couldn't hit
throw it.
him really or wouldn't throw it to him. You would
Hmm.
have Clay wide open on the sides, and he wouldn't throw the ball to him.
Yep.
And eventually, when he did, Clay dropped like 2 passes or 3 passes.
Yeah, and that was it.
He was so used to not getting the ball. He's like, "What is this?" So I think it messed up Clay's mind, and
Yeah,
it's like,
man.
"Whoa, what's going on?" Anyway, your boy, the man you like, Andre Roberts, he's going over there with Tyrod, signing the contract over there in the Houston with the Texans as a return man. So I'm
Yeah, man.
hoping the Bills bring back McKenzie and have this guy return because he not only does he return punts, or he can, and probably kickoffs,
Hmm.
he can catch the ball, he can run wide receiver routes. So
Yep.
they need to get him signed. I hope they
He'll
get him.
get signed. I think that's going to be another structured deal. I think he's going to get signed.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Did you know he owns him and one of his friends own a barbecue place over there in I think it's in Miami. He has
Oh,
a barbecue
really?
restaurant. Yeah, he did an interview during MLB NFL Network, and they were on there. He sounded cool. He was happy,
Yeah.
laughing, joking around. One of my buddies friends, is really good friends with Mackenzie, trying to get him on the
Okay.
show. But
Sweet.
then
That'd be great.
my scrub friend ain't coming through though. Well, Nestor, come
You got to
on,
put
man.
pressure on them.
I
You got to
know.
put pressure. You got to get German to give you some of that IPA so you can give it to your friend and kind of like, pay him with the IPA beer and bring him on the show.
Yeah, it might work because German and Nestor are both Colombian. So
There you
maybe
go.
get the Colombian connection to get this done. Now,
That's what's up.
we talked about this. John Smoke Brown got released last week. Now he signed a 1-year deal worth 3.75 million dollars with the Oakland Raiders. And I believe incentive wise, it could go up to 5.5 million. Now
He should have restructured.
well, the thing was, according to him, he didn't even know they were going to cut him, and nobody asked him to restructure his contract. Now, this is getting on my nerves, all right, because of the move they did today and signed Emmanuel Sanders. All right. Now, he said he wanted to play for India Pitt. I don't know what happened. Maybe he wasn't getting nothing from them. But listen, he goes to the Oakland Raiders, where he's probably going to be their second to probably best wide receiver right now, because who knows if Ruggs steps up. But you're telling me you cut Brown after 1 year. He was our main receiver the year before, over 1,000 yards and everything. He was our number one. The guy struggled this year to stay on the field, stay healthy or whatever. I think he still missed 5 games, still played in 11. His numbers were down. Hello, he wasn't there. And everything was going to Diggs pretty much.
Yeah.
So why not ask him to restructure his contract?
I don't know. I don't know if they approached him about that, but I know Bean has been pursuing Sanders for a couple seasons now. He pursued him and missed out.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, they asked him to, they offered him something to come with the Bills. He said, "Hey, let me sleep on it." And a half hour later, we wound up getting Diggs. So that went out the window. He wound up going to Washington. Not Washington, San Francisco. And he played their season. Then we were pursuing him again. Then he wound up going to New Orleans. I like the kid. I mean, he ain't a kid no more. He's 34 years old. I like him. I think he's a clone of Brown. I think he actually brings a little bit more, because Brown is kind of like the deep guy, to where I think the Sanders, I seen him play. He runs really good routes. I think he gives a better look than Brown, in my opinion. And he's coming $2 million cheaper than Brown would have cost. He's coming in at about $6 million right now. So, it's $2 million cheaper than Brown. Why they didn't, try to restructure with Brown, I have no idea. But like I said, Bean been pursuing this kid for 2 seasons now, for 2 years. And so Bean, obviously, we got to give him credit, trust the process, whatever you want to say. But he's been pursuing Sanders for 2 years. So we finally got him.
I know, I get that point, and here he is, the man. He's got great hands. He can run routes. He's a Super Bowl champ. But my thing was, you cut John Brown because of the money. You wanted to save that money, and I understand. I think Brown was what? I think I had it on one of my sheets, up to $9 million. I think he would have been against the cap or something with guarantees and all that stuff. Now, if you could have chopped that to say $6 million for the year, I mean, why not keep him? He was a proven guy here. Everybody loved him, and why? I understand.
I think what happened was also, and it had a lot of influence to do with the decision making, was he missed 5 games, and out of those 5 games, we won all 5 games. We won 5-0 with him not being there. So I think that was a factor of him not being healthy for those 5 games and us winning those 5 games. So that had a lot to do with it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I get it. This still drives me crazy that this guy signed a contract for $3.75 million, and which could be worth up to $5.5 million.
Yeah.
So if you would have offered him 6, say, hey, would you stay for 6? Maybe he would have taken it. Maybe he wouldn't have. Who knows? But
we'll never know. That's why that's why Bean does. We'll never know why.
I wonder if Smoke saw that and if he tweeted anything out, but I didn't see or hear anything as of right now. Another guy, which we talked about, was real quick, was that the Bills did not sign, which is on the crawl there. They did not tender Levi Wallace. So now Levi Wallace
Mm.
becomes a free agent. Uh, I wouldn't be surprised if he's playing in New England next year.
Yeah.
And if not, if I'm the Jets, I would look at Levi Wallace. Why not? This kid's a good kid. He was a starter since his freshman year or rookie year, I
Oh,
mean.
hold on a minute. Hold
Uh
on a
oh.
minute.
Uh oh.
Breaking hot off the press. The
What's
Bills
that?
have agreed to terms with the free agent cornerback Levi Wallace on a 1-year contract.
That's even better because I was going to say they still could try to sign him. Is this
Yep.
real? Or are you pulling my
Yeah, it's
leg?
real. It said, nah, it's 31 minutes ago, bro.
What
So
did
it
they?
says the Bills have. Let me read it. You want me to read it?
Yeah, read it here. I'll throw him up
All right.
there. This is good news. I
Throw
like
him
this.
up there.
This is my
The
boy.
Bills have agreed. The Bills have agreed to terms with free agent cornerback Levi Wallace on a 1-year contract. Wallace started 12 games last season and totaled 2 interceptions, 48 tackles, 9 passes defended, and 1 tackle for loss. He has started in 35 games for Buffalo since joining the team in 2018 as a rookie free agent out of Alabama. In 3 seasons playing with the Bills, Wallace has racked up 4 interceptions, 20 pass defense, 161 total tackles, and 6 tackles for loss. The corner has started in 38 career games during the playoffs, including the playoffs. It doesn't say what the amount it was, but hmm, this coming straight from BuffaloBills.com. So I'm glad they actually signed him.
Yeah,
One
me
year
too.
contract, no details. So
I guess that'll come out. And you know me, I've been promoting this guy or
yeah,
following
man,
him. Like,
that's your guy.
that's my guy. And, so good. I'm happy to see that because
Yep.
he was a beast, man. He stepped up and he sees a lot of action because everybody's going away from Trey White.
Mm.
So I'm glad to hear that. It's one of those moves. you know, good. I was hoping, 'cause I was about to say they still could sign him and bring him back, and hopefully, he's going to earn. Hopefully, I don't know. They had $9 million left or in cap space as of today. So
Yeah. So now, hey,
good.
Tom Casey, if you still listen, that's one less problem we have is that cornerback now. So see the defense is starting to bolster up with that. Hey, he could talk, say more stuff about the defense. Look, within the last 14 minutes, we already signed the cornerback. So if he keeps talking, who knows? We might get an edge rusher before the end of the show.
Listen, I don't mind our edge rushers, and we still have guys. We have Brian
Uh,
Cox Jr., who was playing pretty well, but he
uh,
never really got to see much action. And the difference this year is we're gonna have some preseason games, so we're gonna be able to check out some of these guys
AJ,
and see what they could do.
my
You
guy
know,
AJ, he's got to step up. I don't know what they did with him last year that he lost weight. I don't know what they're trying to do with him, but that's another guy I'm gonna be watching closely during the offseason.
yeah. AJ needs listen. Jerry Hughes, I would have to look at the contracts and stuff to see who's going to be gone. But Jerry Hughes, I think it's his last year. I'm not sure. Some of these guys are going to have to move on. A lot
He's
of
the longest player with the Bills. Jerry Hughes,
yeah.
love the dude, man.
No, I like him, but
Yeah,
he's getting long in the tooth. So,
yeah.
but I
But
really
he
like.
brings a presence, though, man. A lot of like me and you talked about football. Sometimes it's about a lot of people look at the stats, but a
Mhm.
lot of people that know football know what game speed is and know what a presence is, and he brings that presence to Buffalo, man.
Yeah, no, he does it ever since coming back, being brought from the Colts. Listen, he's played great for us. There's no questioning that. But
For
he
sure.
is get even though he was ranked one of the highest guys still on our squad on defense, he was
Hmm.
ranked statistic wise highest than anybody else on our D line. But you need to do it more on a consistent basis because he had 5 sacks. Did he have three in one game?
Yep.
I think it was.
Uh,
So besides that, where was he most of the year? I understand, like I said, they subbed him
we
out
do
a
a lot of
lot,
sobbing. Yeah.
but you had 3 sacks in one game. Where were you? Only had 2 sacks.
The whole season before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So come on. That's not a good look. But we need AJ. It's his second year, step up. A lot of people have the Bills picking a DN. I guess we'll have to do our draft thing like we did last year at some point. But he needs to step up too. And so does all the other guys behind him. So we'll see what they do. We'll see who makes the squad, who steps up. Now, moving on. This man, boom. We thought he was going to get cut. There was rumors he was going to retire. But the Buffalo Bills have traded Lee Smith to the Falcons for a late round pick in 2022. Now somebody posted that it's a 7th round pick. So I don't know if it goes
Oh,
more.
I knew it was a late round pick, but man, 7th. Yeesh.
You know what? This is the way I look at it. Either he was going to retire or they were going to cut him
We
to
got
save
some. We got something
$1 million.
for him. Yeah.
Exactly. We got to pick
Yeah.
for him. And the way Bean and McDermott been picking, most
Hmm.
of the guys they pick are on our squad. So listen, I'd rather get something for him, and there's no dead money or anything like with that from his contract. But you know what? I gotta say thank you, Lee Smith, for all the years you put in with
Yes,
Buffalo.
sir.
He left and then he came back, and he's a beast. The guy's a good blocker. You can't hate on him. You know, he wasn't really running many routes. What do you have, like 6 catches and 2 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns or
Hmm.
something? But he's a beast. But like we said, when you saw Lee Smith in there, you pretty much knew what was going to happen. Usually it
Run
was right.
blocking.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Now, this came to me as a surprise, but I heard from reading this guy's pretty oh, look at him cutting off. I gotta go and hide in the corner here. Matt Hack signed him to a 3-year contract. So that means, are you trying to creep through there?
Yeah.
That
Peekaboo.
means our other boy over here, Corey, he's gonna be gone.
Bojorquez.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was surprised. I thought they would sign him or bring him back, but this guy Matt, he has a whole bunch of like pins within the 20-yard line.
Hmm.
Uh, he broke like Miami records or whatever the hell. The guy's supposedly a beast out there. Comes as a surprise to me. I did not think we were going to get rid of Bojorquez,
Me neither.
but I know Bojorquez will find a home somewhere. You know, so good for them. Welcome to the
I
Buffalo
mean,
Bills, Matt, coming
I
from the
I'm with,
Dolphins.
absolutely, absolutely. Um, I think it's. I don't know. I was a little confused with that. You know, I was not confused. I was a little surprised by it, like you. Bojorquez, but think about it, man. Bojorquez, he did a great job. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about what he did at Buffalo. But think
Mm-hmm.
about it. I mean, he wasn't really utilized that much. I mean, we scored more. Josh Allen had more touchdowns than Bojorquez had punts. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's something that think about. I mean, he had a couple good pins. He's a great punter. Don't get me wrong, but with this guy signing, I think it's decent. What do we pay? I think we paid 375,000 more for him. Is that what it was for
Uh,
this kid?
I didn't really see the contract. I'd have to look and see.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it comes up somewhere. But listen, for I didn't know why, and then I started looking at some of his stats. If you go like the Buffalo Bills PR doc on Twitter, they have a thing with all his stats on there too, which
Mhm.
it's pretty impressive. And if he continues to do that, that's great. The difference is wins are a little different in Buffalo than in Miami.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hopefully he could do what he did in Miami in Buffalo. Like I said, those wins are different, and Bajorquez already had an idea of those wins. So hopefully,
We
hopefully.
saw what happened when Baltimore came to Buffalo.
Oh, that was ugly. That was great for us, but it was ugly
Yeah.
for them. You touch base on this guy. Beep. He's coming back. He opted out last year. He's saying he's going to play. Listen, I think he's set. Do I even have this? I don't even have it. I think he's set to make 7.5 million around there this year. It wasn't worth for the Bills to cut him because if the Bills cut him, all they
Yeah.
were
Hard cap.
saving, yeah, all they were saving was $500,000. And his numbers don't look all that great when you look at it, but he holds down the middle a little when it comes to that run game. So hopefully he can
Which
get it
which is
there.
what we needed this year.
Yeah, and hopefully he comes in and does what he does well, and that's stop the run. And this way it frees up either Butler or Oliver to step up and hold down that middle because we did give up way too many rushing yards. And again, playing the defense we were doing, playing that nickel defense drove me crazy because if you're running a 4-3, your other linebacker could come help out with that.
Yep, for
But
sure.
I'm not Leslie Frazier. I'm just a scrub TV guy or guy out here doing this. All right. Another signing, which was big. I was happy for it. I believe you too. This boy, big
Yeah,
old
man.
Mambo, is coming back, signed a 3-year deal worth $17 million. You know what? He took a little discount, but he stayed on the team. He wanted to be in Buffalo. He said he wanted to stay, and he's here. I don't know if you saw, he's put out a picture with him and Josh saying, yo, we got to keep this going. And he's always one of the first guys to say, hey, happy for this guy resigning or happy for that guy resigning.
Yep.
Listen, the Bills have a good problem right now with him coming back. Mitch Morse taking a pay cut to
Hmm.
stay. This man right here, boom, big old Darrell Williams. We weren't sure if they were going to be able to bring both of these guys back, and they brought them back. He ended up signing 3-year deal worth $28.2 million. So listen, our whole offensive line
It's
is
back.
coming,
Yep.
and we get Cody Ford coming back from injury.
Yep.
So I don't know. I guess you could slide Cody Ford to a guard position, but I don't know how it's going to go. So I guess right now you're looking at Williams, Dawkins, both tackles, either Feliciano, Cody Ford, or well, that should be it right there. Cody Ford and Feliciano in the middle. But what the Bills did too today, which doesn't mean he's really on the squad, but there's a good chance he'll be on there, is the man Ike over here who stepped up and
Ike
filled
Boker.
the other guard position. They tendered him. Now,
Oh.
them tendering him, he's only making about what? Let me see. What was it? 2.1 million. All right.
Mm.
Now, I think this is just a move. He still has the option to go out there and try to get a better contract for somebody else. I think if somebody else signs him, I believe the Bills might. Well, the Bills have an option of matching it, or I
Hmm.
think they might get some picks or something in return if he does sign somewhere else.
Mm.
But with him coming back, that really brings back our whole offensive line.
Yeah, man.
No issues. We got a good depth guy with him. So I mean, I don't know how Brandon Beane's doing it, but he's working some magic up there. One thing we've both said is that hey, the Bills pay their own guys. Why bring somebody else in? If you earn your money, you're getting paid, and that's why Josh Allen is not freaking out that he didn't get his contract extension yet. I think everybody's trying to see what the money's going to be like next year, and they
Yep.
told him, "Hey, you're going to get paid. You're going to be our quarterback." So I don't. I think that's why he was fine with just
It
saying, "Yeah,
says
we're good."
it says a lot about the team chemistry and the camaraderie that these guys, the Felicianos and guys like that, are taking cuts, man. I mean, it was very surprising some of these signings when they took $2-3 million cut, to help with the cap. And
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of surprised about John being released, but it wasn't. We weren't really surprised, to be honest with you. But I was surprised about the pay cuts some of these guys are doing. We pretty much have O line still intact. Um,
Yeah, it
the
is intact.
defense is pretty much, we got Milano, which we thought we wasn't going to come back. I thought,
Mm-hmm.
Feliciano might, you know, ask for a little bit more money, but these guys are taking pay cuts, man, to stay.
Yeah,
So they're gonna the whole motto of next year is gonna be like run it back. We were this close to getting the Super Bowl, and we're gonna come back with pretty much the same team, same squad. So I'm excited. I'm excited that Bean is doing. Hey, he was general manager of the, voted GM for the year, so for a reason. So he's proven it. The only one that's kind of giving him competition now is over there at New England. So, but
well,
I think
well,
we're
that
doing really well, man, by keeping with the way the cap was set up. Uh, I thought we were going to lose a lot of guys to free agency, man.
yeah. No, we both agreed. We didn't think they would be able to sign Feliciano and Williams. We thought
Yep,
maybe one of them. And if they didn't sign them, we definitely thought they would bring back Ike. But
yep,
it's a possibility that he still can go somewhere else.
yeah.
And there's a possibility he stays. I don't know what it's a 1-year deal, was it, I believe? Or they tendered him. So I think it is for a year.
10 of them, yeah.
So it could be like saying, hey, listen, we're gonna pay you this year. Hopefully next year we have more money and we could bring you on for more money.
Hmm.
Who knows what they're talking in the background. I mean, but Bean is doing a great job. He's keeping
Sure
all
is.
the guys here. And like you said, it's like Matt Milano ended up saying, something's brewing. The culture's brewing up in Buffalo. They've always wanted to stay there. I loved his tweet. I think you saw, right? The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah. I
ain't
ain't going
going no
nowhere.
anywhere. So that was great, especially with
Micah Hyde is putting in work down here in Florida, talking to free agents to see, try to get them up here. You know, he talked to a couple free agents last year, and he said, "Look, now you with a scrub team." So now he's putting bugs in all these other players' ears, and hopefully, we'll have a little bit of money. There's still trade deadlines. There's still a lot of stuff that's still going to happen. But for right now, for the way things are looking, I'd give it an A+ to
oh, yeah.
to 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 Bean from what he's doing, because me and you didn't expect all this to come. I mean, I'm even with Levi Wallace right now. I was a little nervous. Who are we gonna use? Dane Jackson's fine, but
Yeah.
it made me look, and literally 15 minutes ago, he's gonna come up with a 1-year contract with this, which is awesome.
And which, what that just tells me too is either, okay, they're going to wait to see what Dane Jackson does this year, or they're waiting for that salary cap to go up next year because
Hmm.
everybody's saying, listen, most of these stadiums should be full. The way it's going, hopefully everything goes well
Yep.
because Dallas already said, no, we're going to be full capacity. We got to pay.
Nice.
We got to pay this guy.
Hey,
That,
they're gonna open up because, hey, listen, next month MMA is gonna have a full house up here in Jacksonville for UFC 260, I believe it is, 15,000 capacity. So I believe by the time, hopefully, if there's not another breakout or whatever,
no.
with this COVID, I think we'll hopefully be full capacity by next season.
One reason also, I don't know if we didn't talk about it, I think last week, but listen, this guy helped out with some of these signings because he ended up saving, I think, around taking a close to a $2 million pay cut. So that helped. Mario Addison restructuring his contract. And with the guy
Yeah, man.
behind him lurking, watching right there, he's like, yo, my payday's coming up too. Tremaine. So I touched on that. One thing, I don't know if you saw this. The Bills were close to signing or sent Rob Gronkowski
Rob Gronkowski,
a
but
1 year deal.
he said that. So I mean, I
No,
got
he
to
was
take.
saying, and he was saying, I mean, if I was him, I would have done it. Why
Come
not?
back home.
You already have all your Super Bowls, dude. Come back home, play a year, maybe two, and hope. Like if this guy came to Buffalo, and Buffalo won a Super Bowl, he'd be
Yeah,
like,
he'd be a legend. He'd be a
he'd be a
legend.
legend. They would have forgot all
Absolutely.
the Pats years, and
Yeah.
they'd be like, we love Gronk. Gronk's a Bill.
Yeah.
And that's personally, I would have done it. I'd be like, listen, I love you, Brady,
What
but
was it? What was it? 10 million bucks he got, right?
yeah, 1 year, $10 million. So the Bills could have done it. They said it was around the
Yeah.
same thing. Why
Yeah.
not? That's the only I was talking to my buddy Rob, who was on last week. I was like, I would have just done it just to finish my career in my hometown. Hopefully get a Super Bowl and bring it home. So I thought that was kind of cool, but I guess it's not going to happen.
Nope.
Also,
Clock.
yeah, I think that's one of the positions I think the Bills need to try to get. We got like a minute and a half left. Uh,
Yeah, we got to see what's going to happen with Croft and a couple of these guys. Yeah, I mean, it's still how the 4 o'clock everything
mhm,
started. So by next week's show, we're going to have a whole bunch of more stuff to talk about.
yeah,
Who knows with trades and shakeups and signings, but
yeah.
we're on top of it.
Well, hopefully, if anybody, I wouldn't mind Kyle Rudolph maybe on a 2 year deal if the deal is
Mm,
friendly.
yeah.
Besides that, there's a few guys you could go after and possibly
Yep.
because not a lot of them are not really big run blockers.
Yep.
Anyway, we got less than a minute left. As always, hey guys, here's this. Follow us on Twitter at Viva Los Bills, Facebook group Viva Los Bills. Just join. You don't have to answer 1,000 questions or anything. Just join up there. And on YouTube, check out Viva Los Bills. Also, follow us, subscribe, tell your friends about us. And that's about it. It's been a fun show, Vinny. I
Man,
mean,
I'm excited, man.
yeah, listen, they've done everything right so far. Can't hate it. You know, we might want to get better in a few positions, but listen, our whole squad is there. All you got to do now is draft right.
Absolutely.
And we're going to have to do a draft show one of these days. But besides that, for today, it's adios. Thank you. Nos
Arrivederci.
vemos. Hasta next,
La
probably next
vista.
Wednesday also. Peace out. Nos vemos. Adios.